Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to talk today about how camera is work. To start with, I will describe the progress it is, and you can give question after the presentation. And uh, this presentation, I hope you can enthusiastic and polite during presentation. And you can use the notes to note this presentation. Right, I will presentation about how camera is work. Inventor. From historical records, the obscura camera was discovered around the year 1000 by Al-Haytham, or also known by another name Al-Hazan. This camera was developed with the concept of small hole in black box illuminated by light capable of producing image. Before the popularization of Al-Hazan in the era before Christ, it was recorded that this concept had been discovered by a philosopher named Mozi in pre-Christian era. Only in 11th century, Al-Hazan wrote a book about optics, including his experiment passing light through a small hole into a dark room. Al-Hazan's book was later studied by Western scientists such as Joseph Kepler. This scientist finally succeeded in enlarging the project image produced by the camera by adding a negative lens behind the positive lens. Robert Boyle then also succeeded in making a small wireless camera in 1665. Timeline. This 1000 Masehi discovered by Al-Hazan with this camera was developed with the concept of small holes in dark squares. Next, this year of 1837, Frenchman Joseph Nicophore Niepce invented the practical concept of photophagy, which was later named as the daguerreotypes. In a small box in the light hall, he had copper and silver plates added with iodine vapor, so that this generation of camera was more sensitive. 20 years next, camera triplets is the work of Joseph van Coven. 14 years later, this dry plate camera was modified by Richard Leach Meadows, was success in creating a wet plate camera that had better quality and speed in terms of shooting. At 1885, the development of this camera had begun a century earlier. Since 1880, 1885 by George Atmadjaya was starts production of film cameras, which then developed again into celluloid in 1888 daring until 1889. At 1928, camera TLR and SLR. TLR is an acronym or abbreviation of twin lens reflex, while SRL stands for single lens reflex. This TLR camera began to made by Frank and Heideck Rolleiflex. At 1981, analog camera began to appear. This year from Sony Mavic stand for magnetic video camera. This is camera with analog camera to record visual signals continuously as a video recording machine. And 1986 until present, camera digitals are different from their predecessor camera analog camera mainly because digital camera don't use film roll but are able to capture and store photos and videos on digital memory cards or external storage very well with sharper resolution. Function. The function of camera in general is to create or capture an image of an object which will then be reflected through the lens on the CCD sensor and the BSI CMOS sensor and then record and store in digital format. Or in other words, it can be called a process of creating still or moving image by capture data directly starting it on sensitive media such electromagnetic film or electronic sensors. Feature. This feature 1. Aperture priority is a setting on some cameras that allows the user to set a specific aperture value while the camera selects a shutter speed to match it. 2. Auto bracketing is a feature of some more advanced camera, whether film or digital camera, particularly single lens reflex camera, where the camera will take several successive shots, often 3, with slightly different settings. 3. Battery grip is an accessory for an SLR and DSLR and occasionally other camera. 4. Depth of field adapter is used to achieve shallow depth on field on video camera with fixed lens or interchangeable lens selection is limited or commonly prohibited at providing such effect. 5. Visual format refers to the format in which the image data output by a digital camera is represented. This viewfinder is what the photographer looks through to compose and many cases to focus the picture. Most viewfinders are separate and super parallax. 7. Motor drive. In the field of photography is a power film transport mechanism. Egg image trigger initiates the capture of single or multiple frames of a digital camera by analyzing the signal of its sensor. 9. Orientation sensor can found in some digital camera. By recording the orientation at the time of capture, the camera software can determine whether the image should be oriented to landscape or portrait format. 10. Sensitive purity is setting on Pentax camera that allow the user to choose ISO speed value. 11. Belish mirror is an ultra-thin, ultra lightweight, semi-transparent mirror employed in the light path of an optical instrument. 12. Wide level finder is a type of viewfinder that can use on twin lens and single lens reflex camera. 13. In photography, the feature is shutter release button. It's a push button found on many cameras used to record photograph. When pressed, the shutter of the camera is released so that it opens to capture a picture. How to use it and advice. Instruction how to use camera. First, turn the camera on. The first step to using a digital camera is simply turning the device on. 2. Insert a memory card. Most digital cameras only have enough storage to hold a few features on their own. 3. Familiarize yourself with the button. Digital camera comes with a variety of buttons. You should spend some time familiarize yourself with what this button do. 4. Take a few pictures. If you want to start using your camera, begin by take a few pictures. Choose a subject like a landscape or a pet. Focus your camera for a moment and then press the shutter button. 5. View your picture. Once you have taken a few practice pictures, review your picture, press down on the play button. The picture you just took should appear on your camera screen. You can scroll through the picture using the scroll wheel. 6. Transfer your photos to your computer. Once you've taken enough photos, you can upload your photo onto your computer. The process is usually fairly self-explanatory and depends on the type of camera you have. Advice how to use it. First, if you new to photography, you should go with autofocus for the most part. There are few shots where manual focus will benefit you. If you get into photography on a professional level, you may want to consider manual focus down the road. For casual photography, however, autofocus should be sufficient. 2. If you want to avoid having your photos compressed, consider switch to raw picture quality. This setting don't compress or tamper with the pictures when you upload them onto your computer or other device. 3. If your picture come out crisper, it may be a good idea to see if your camera has a shake-free shutter speed option. If it does, set your camera to the shake-free option when operation at a lower shutter speed. This will help your picture come out crisper. Thank you. After the presentation, you can give question for me. If not, finally, I will summarize my presentation. Alright, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.